Hi, I'm Jeff Bridges from the movie Iron Man. Because he had the beard. Hi, I'm Zan. You might know me from my work with Prism Comics, the nonprofit that helps promote LGBT comics creators. You might have seen me at a convention. You might also know me from my work publishing with Northwest Press. Northwest Press is one of the few comics publishers that specializes in working with lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender comics creators. Anything That Loves is a full-color anthology coming out this July from Northwest Press. It features a lot of really talented people. This anthology focuses on the world outside of gay and straight boxes. Everybody else. Bisexuality, pansexuality, omnisexuality. Why are you so obsessed with labeling me sexuality?
This is a great project. Something that I think needs to be explored in comics a little more is the subject of the fluidity of gender and sexuality, and I think this book is going to do a great job in exploring that.
So let me tell you where this project got its start. At the beginning of 2012, I got a call from a friend of mine from college, and he was writing a paper and writing an article about his bisexuality and his experiences being an out bisexual man. And he wanted my point of view of what it was like being in college with him years ago. He was telling me that, you know, he was ostracized from the gay students. He couldn't sit at the gay table. He got taunted like down the hall, people yelling things at him down the hall. People would tell him that he didn't know, you know, what he was talking about, that he was fooling himself, that he should just come out all the way and stop being bisexual or stop saying he was. Right around the time that I got this phone call from him, kind of out of the blue, I'd read an article in the New York Times, and the headline was, "Homophobic? Maybe you're gay." I'd been talking to Matt about bisexuality and his experiences, and it got me thinking about categories and about boxes and about identities that we pick, that we choose, that we stick to throughout our lives. What if they're actually bisexual people? And what if they're actually able to choose to not express that part of themselves or accept that part of themselves, and then that's frustrating them, and therefore they're saying things like, it's a choice, and you know, you can choose to turn away from the homosexual lifestyle or whatever. It made more and more sense to me that the only people who would say it's a choice are the people who actually have one. You know, as a gay man, bisexuality has never really been something that I've thought too much about. It's been kind of outside of me, not really something that affected me personally. So once I started thinking about this, that bisexuality, the problems with people accepting bisexuality, both in the straight and the gay communities, mind you, that problem could be a root cause of homophobia, which directly impacts me and the people that I care about. I started to think about bisexuality in a completely different way. So I started thinking about this in terms of non-binary sexuality. So it's not this or that, it's everything, and it's everybody. And so once I started thinking about that, and started thinking about how a change in attitudes could really, really help make a better world for everybody, I wanted to do more. I wanted to do something to help speed this along. And that turned into the anthology project, Anything That Loves.
So last year I was at Stumptown Comics Fest at the after party, and Zan Christensen came up to me, and he wanted to get some thoughts about some of his ideas about bisexuality and how it might relate to homophobia. And I was standing there with another bisexual cartoonist, and we got into this long conversation about how we wanted to express ourselves as people and how we wanted to express ourselves through our comics. And Zan got this idea to do a graphic novel anthology about bisexuality or pansexuality or omnisexuality, however you want to call it. Not just bisexual creators, but anybody that wanted to talk about the subject in a meaningful way. And I think this is great, because this is something that I've always wanted to talk about.
Northwest Press has been publishing graphic novels and comics collections for the past 3 years. And this year, I went full-time with it. And so what that means is that I no longer have money from my day job to help me front printing costs and advertising and stuff like that. And so I decided that I would do a Kickstarter campaign to help raise money to print this book. This is our first major book of the year, so that we can pay for it up front, and then pay for subsequent books with proceeds from the sales of this one.
When you support Zan and Northwest Press, what you're really supporting is a whole league of underrepresented creative talent. Zan is giving these artists a chance to be heard, one book at a time.
By supporting Zan and Northwest Press, you're supporting the work of talented but often marginalized creators whose work would simply not be published otherwise.
So, how can I help, you may be asking yourself? Well, you can pitch in $10 and you'll get a digital copy of the book. Plus, we will throw a little thank you to you on the thank you page in the book itself. You throw in $30, you get a copy of the book, as well as the print copy of the book with a book plate put into it. And these book plates are going to be individual, really nicely printed, archival prints of artwork that are going to not be available in the final book when it comes to stores. We've also got a lot of awards kind of between the $30 and the $500 range. And with those awards come copies of the other Northwest Press books, like A Waste of Time, The Legend of Bold Riley, and the Lambda Literary Award nominated Transposes by Dylan Edwards. You get different packs of books, or you could say, I want to go all the way and get every single Northwest Press book that's been published so far.
The quality of the books Northwest Press is producing, they're just phenomenal. The Legend of Bold Riley that came out in 2012 by Leah Wethington and illustrated by a host of artists, it's one of my most favorite books that I got last year.
From A Waste of Time to Glamazonia to The Power Within or Bold Riley, those are all really great books. Even if you take away the gay aspect, they tend to be books that have a really an iconoclastic vision of what they want to be. They're books that I'm not seeing from other publishers.
If getting a bunch of books isn't your thing, but you like the company of a well-spoken and educated gentleman like myself, join me for dinner in one of the major cities in North America that Northwest Press will be traveling to on conventions this year. I'll come to you, take you out. We can talk about starting a small business, we can talk about queer comics, we can talk about how to make your mini comics just so, anything you want. And if you want a truly unique experience and you're going to be in New York City in early June, you could join us as we attend the Lambda Literary Awards. Dylan Edwards is nominated for a Lammy for his book Transposes. So what we'll do is we'll take you out for a leisurely lunch on us, and then to the ceremony where you can hold our hands as we wait nervously for the results, and then to the VIP after party where you can party down with us.
I love Northwest Press. I love that he went out there, he saw a void that needed to be filled, which is a comic book company that produces content that revolves around queer creators and queer characters. And he was like, need to fix this.
Northwest Press is a great company. It deserves your support because not only do they put out good books and good important subject matter and all that, but they also, Zan has a great heart for comics and a great heart for the community, and he helps people like me, small press, independent creators. He helped me get into the digital market and everything, and he continues to do that for a lot of young and starting out comic book creators and cartoonists.
I do want to thank you so much for supporting this project. It's a labor of love to me. It's really close to my heart. And I really hope that it does some good in the world and helps to make it a better place for everybody. Gay, straight, in between, outside, around the corner, everybody. And so please back the project. Please tell your friends. Please link to it. Please post it on the Tumblrs and the Face places and the MyBook, and help us make a difference. If you back us at the $10,000 level, Kristen Bell will record a voicemail message just for you. How's that? Is that good? I'm gay. I am gay. I'm completely gay. I'm 100% gay. Ask anyone. I'm cuckoo for cock. Except there was this one time in high school.